Hello, thanks very much for joining this session where we're going to be talking about two of our master's courses in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and they are Building Services Engineering MSc and Building Services Engineering with Sustainable Energy MSc. My name's Tina. I'm from the marketing department here in Brunel, and I'm joined today by Professor Maria Kolokotroni. So welcome, Maria. Could you, to kick us off, give us a brief summary of your academic background?
Okay, thank you very much, Tina, for this introduction.
It's a pleasure.
Actually, I'll start by saying that I have been at Brunel more than 25 years now.
Wow.
And I was the course director of these courses in the beginning, and then I left them doing other things, and now I'm back again. My research area is low energy buildings and their services, and in particular ventilation. And I studied for my first degree in Greece, which is my native country, and then I came to the UK to study for my master's and my doctorate. And then after working in the industry for a little while, I joined Brunel. And I have been working with people from all over the world. I'm an active researcher and I have research projects with many European countries, but also China, India, Caribbean, in particular Jamaica, and the US and Canada, and so on. So I come in contact about building services engineering with people all around the world.
Great, thanks. So how long has this particular course been, or these two been running, and what are the main aims of the programs?
Okay, actually we are proud to say that Building Services Engineering MSc, I believe it's one of the oldest masters at Brunel University.
Right.
It started more than 40 years ago, mainly as a full-time course, and then about, I think, 30 years ago, it was introduced as a distance learning course as well.
Mm-hmm.
And in about 2005, when sustainability issues were coming a little more at the forefront of designing in building services, then we introduced the variation with sustainable energy, so about 20 years ago. So the aims of the two courses is really to prepare graduates from different engineering backgrounds to be able to design building services engineering aspects in buildings, how they can integrate them into the buildings, but also how they can size the equipment and so on according to the needs of the particular location, type of buildings, but also the climate they are in.
Right. Okay. So they've been going an awful long time, these courses. How do you ensure that they are kept up to date and kept relevant in terms of the job market and technology, etc.?
Yeah, this is something that, of course, we need to renew our courses quite regularly. The modules, every year, we update them. And how we do it is that our courses are accredited by 3 professional bodies in the UK. So we have access to the expertise of these organizations, which they have publications and other guidelines and everything that we can integrate in our courses. Also, most of the academics teaching in the courses, they are research active, so they know what is going on in their particular disciplines, so they integrate the latest knowledge in how to design buildings, but also about legislation and policy and things like that into their teaching. And finally, also we have quite a lot of industrial guest lecturers that they come to teach particular topics or particular lectures. So these people, they give the latest information that the employers and the industry needs from graduates and how they design buildings now and not 40 years ago that we started.
Thank goodness, yes. Yeah. Great, thanks. It's worth saying at this point that very often there will be some scholarships available to prospective students of this course. So if you're interested in applying, it's worth looking at the scholarships page on the Brunel website. At the time of recording this, we can't tell you about them for the next academic year because they haven't been announced yet. But do check, if you're thinking of applying, do look at the scholarships just in case there's something you may be eligible to apply for. So we don't want to get, let's move on now to talk about the content of the course.
Okay.
We don't want to get too bogged down in detail about modules, but could you just give us a top line run through of what the 8 modules are?
Okay, so the 8 modules of the Building Services Engineering MSc, they are quite traditional building services engineering modules in trying to encompass all areas of building services in a building. So we talk about electrical services and lighting design, for example, in one module, and how we lit the building, but how we provide electricity as well. We talk about building heat transfer and air conditioning in another module, which is about how heat transfers through the envelope of the building and how we provide heating, cooling, humidification, and so on in the form of air conditioning in the building. We talk about acoustics in another module, which is half a module combined with fire, lifts, and drainage as well. Acoustics is very important, but we are not talking about acoustics to design a music hall, for example. We're talking about acoustics in an office building, in a house, and so on. And of course, fire safety, the lifts, vertical circulation, and drainage is covered as well. Very importantly, building management and control systems, which when we started the course, we had it there, but now, of course, it is very, very, very important because a lot of the buildings, they are run by software and specific management and control systems. We have a module in the design of fluid services and heat transfer equipment. So this is the design of this equipment and how we can do the sizing of them, for example. We talk about energy conversion technologies, which is about refrigeration mostly, but also power generation, combined heat and power and things like that, that they provide the power to the building. And we have a double module of 30 credits, which is called Building Services Design and Management, which is the module that brings everything together. We talk about first environmental design and how we provide these services for the occupants of the building, because this is the scope, this is what a building services engineer should be. And then we have a group project that students in groups, they design the services for a small building, an office, a small office, for example, and they take the role of the electrical engineer or mechanical engineer or the acoustician, and they do all the design. And this is then they present as a report, but also as an oral presentation. And in many cases, we invite industrialists to come to listen to these oral presentations. And again, for distance learning students, again, the module leader has got a very nice system to connect the students from different parts of the course or different discipline to work together if it is possible. if it is not possible, then they will do it in a different way within their working environment, by working with other people there. So there is an element of group design for all the students. In the With Sustainable Energy course, we have 2 other modules that they replace 2 of the ones that I described. One is about renewable energy technologies, which is what renewable energies we can integrate into a building and how this can be done, how it can be sized, and so on. And the other is about energy efficient ventilation for buildings, which is a module that we introduced many, many years ago, but with the pandemic, it has become quite how you say, visible. I mean, before the pandemic, a common person, you talk to them about ventilation. So, what's that? I mean, ventilation. Now we all know about ventilation and how important it is for the building. So it's a nice module as well.
Yes. Yeah. So the 2 courses are very similar, apart from those 2 modules that concentrate particularly on sustainable energy and ventilation. Yes. So could you please explain about the 3 different accreditations and particularly what benefits they offer to UK and international students?
Okay, thank you for that. Actually, the first accreditation we had, it was from CIBSE. CIBSE is Chartered Institution of Building Services Engineers. So it was very relevant to the course. And then we applied, being based in the mechanical engineering department, we applied to the Institute of Mechanical Engineers for accreditation. And finally, when introduced with Sustainable Energy course, we applied to the Institute of Energy, and they gave us accreditation as well for both courses. Now, what the benefits to the students is that they can become student members of all these institutes, so they have access to a lot of information and benefits. When they want to become members later on, they have a track record and they have been student members, so they are familiar with this professional body. And of course, when they want to become chartered engineers later on, again, the membership, the course that they have studied, which is recognized or accredited by the institute, it gives them an advantage in this route to become a chartered engineer.
Yes, thank you.
And this is for home students, but international students as well.
Right. Thanks. So finally, can you give us some interesting examples of careers that your graduates have gone on to?
Careers. Actually, our students, they mainly find job in consultant engineering firms that they deal with buildings and their services. So they can be big firms, like, for example, Arabs or Biro Happold or Hoarley. But a lot of our students, they find jobs in other medium-sized consultancy firms, and they have hands-on experience in quite a lot of buildings. And some of them, they might prefer to go there, and then they move to bigger consultancies as well.
And do they find it easy to get jobs?
Actually, I believe so. I think so. And why I said that is that sometimes when I want to have a PhD student and I'm trying to persuade one of them to take it on, they don't want it because they've got a job already. And you go to the next and to the next, and this is what is happening.
Yeah.
I think what is, why is that because our MScs have been delivered so long, they are very well known in the industry. Also, a lot of our graduates, they are working in this industry as well. So
Right.
when they hear a graduate from
Yeah.
Brunel, the same course, I'm not saying that they prefer them, but it's
Yes.
something that they,
It's an advantage.
they
Yes.
know what they know.
Yes.
So they know when they are employed, what
Yes.
it will happen. So in general, I think that employability prospects are quite high, mainly from the knowledge that the students have, but also because of the reputation of our courses.
Yes. Well, thanks very much for that. Maria has answered all the questions very fully, and those are the questions that we normally get asked by prospective students. But if you're thinking of making an application to this course and there's something that you think we haven't covered, please send us an email to our inquiries address, which will appear on the screen. It's inquiries@brunel.ac.uk. So all that remains for me is to say thanks very much, Maria, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.